Hi guys, welcome back to another video on Next.js 15. In this video, I'm going to explain you guys how you can configure your newly created Next.js 15 project and configure multi-language support in it. Means we should be able to convert all the text on the page as well as the browser tab text should be converted to according to the selected language. And I have enabled the language keyword over here. You can see in this address bar, it has /en. En stands for English, and this is the home page. I can change the language from here. FR means French. I can click on that and you will see that all the text on the page, including the navbar, and this is the main text for the home page, have been changed. Along with that, the text on the browser tab have been changed as well according to the language which I have selected. And if I change the tab, you can see that URL is changed, and according to that, the browser tab text have been changed, and along with that this text have been updated. If I click on the profile, this is the nested route. No matter which level of routing system we have, it is going to affect the selected language. So according to that, if I change it back to the English, the URL remains same and it has been changed from FR to EN, and the text of everything on the browser tab as well as over here and on the navbar have been updated as well. So the text which is being rendered on the navbar are the server components. I'm going to show you how you can change text on the server side, and the text of every page which is being visible at the center of this page is the client component. Okay, so the client component is going to use the translation configuration which I'm going to show you and update itself according to the selected language. And also I'm going to show you how you can add more languages just like this English and French. So I'm going to start off with creating a new Next.js 15 project and move forward from the first step. So let's create a new Next.js 15 project. Make sure you have the latest stable version of Node and npm installed in your system. Once it is installed, I've opened up an empty folder on VS Code, and in the terminal I'm going to write npx create next app at rc. Currently the 15 version is not stable. By the time when you are watching this video, if it is stable, you can write latest over here and it will create Next.js 15 project. But currently when I'm recording it, it is not stable, so I need to write rc over here. Dot means I don't want to create a new folder for this particular project. I want to create all the files of new created Next.js project directly in the same folder which I've already opened in VS Code. Okay, so I'll hit enter. I'm going to go with TypeScript, ESLint, Tailwind, source directory, no, app router, turbo pack, no, which is an awesome, but currently for this particular project, I'm not going to enable that. If you are making a big project, that you can obviously enable that to improve the performance of your app. No for it, no for import alias. So currently this is being installed, so let's wait for it. Meanwhile it is getting installed, let me show you all the tutorials that I've already built. You can check out the playlist Next.js 14 tutorials app directory, and it includes pretty much every tutorial that you would need to become a good Next.js developer, starting off with the authentication system with multiple technologies, clerk, kind, next auth, auth 0, SEO, building blog and e-commerce application, TypeScript, protect routes, and all the small to large projects I have built in this particular playlist. Along with that, I have also created multiple videos on CI/CD, Docker in Next.js 14, and you can follow the same tutorials for your Next.js 15 projects. Building full stack REST APIs in Next.js 14, building a web scraper in Next.js, and along with that, building storybook, theming, designing, building note-taking app, full stack using Drizzle and the Prisma ORM, caching, video editing apps, video calling apps, and all about routings and layouts. So these are all the different tutorials I've already built, and I'm putting a lot of effort building these videos for you guys. So if you want me to keep on creating these videos, I would request you guys to subscribe my channel and like this video. So the project is created. Let me clear the terminal out. First of all, let's try to run the project so everything is going well. So it is currently starting and building the project, and .next folder is created. Now let's go ahead. Currently this is running my previous project. Let me run the home route because this is what I'm currently running. Okay, so this is a default UI of Next.js 15. It was a little bit different in the previous Next.js 14 version. Okay, so first of all, if I open up this package.json file, you will see that I don't have any extra packages for the localization. So the package which we would need is next-intl. So I'm going to install npm I, and this is going to be next-intl. So hit enter, and this is going to get installed and added. So currently what I need to do is, maybe I'm using the 15 version, so maybe it is not fully supported, but later on it will be surely stable. So I need to write force over here at this time. If this error comes to you, you can write -- force, and it will be installed and added it in this dependencies object. All right, so let's clear this out. Let's close it. And now, first of all, I need to go ahead and open up this next.config.mjs, and I need to import few things. So import create next-intl plugin from the next-intl -plugin. Once it is imported, I need to initialize it in a variable. So with next-intl create this. So currently I won't be creating this like it. And now I need to wrap my next config with this particular variable like it. For this particular file, that's pretty much it we need to do. Next, I'm going to create a new file, and this is going to be i18n.ts. And inside this file, first of all, I will be write import not found from next navigation, and then I need to import get request config from next-intl -server. Then I'm going to create all the languages which I want to support. So locales equals to the en and fr. I can write more values if I want. So let's move further. So export default get request config, and this is an async function locale arrow function, and inside it I'm going to write if not locales dot include locale as any, and then I'm simply going to call not found. Okay, otherwise I'm going to return messages, and this is the folder which I will be creating, where I will be storing the strings for all the different languages. For example, the key value pairs, the home text, the header text, the hero section text, footer text, all these different things needs to be added for multiple languages which I want to add in this particular application. And I'm just going to show you what do I mean by that. And now I will be write import this one dot messages / and then locale. This is going to work like this. So I think we are done for this particular file. All right, and now let's close it. Next thing, we will be needing to create a middleware file which is pre-built in Next.js. So in this particular file, I need to write import create middleware from next-intl middleware, and then I need to export default create middleware, and this is going to take an object inside it. And then I'm going to put the locales enfr, and then I'm going to write default locale. So what would be the default locale inside it? So I can put en as a default language selector. Okay, and now let's add export config, and here I need to put the home route as well as all the child routes starting off with en and fr. This is what you need to add over here. Okay, so this default locale is going to get automatically populated when no locale is given to that. For example, localhost colon 3000, that's it. And this is going to automatically append it. Now let's close it. And next thing we need to do is create folders. And if I open this up, this is the folder which I need to create. And if I change that particular folder, then I need to update that over here in i18n file. So this is going to be the messages, and inside it I'm going to create two files, en.json, actually it should be json, and I need to create fr.json. Okay, so this is going to contain different values, key value pairs. So I'm just going to copy paste all the values which I have. So this is for the en.json, all the English string to be shown on the browser. So now nav links are showing this like home. Home is the key and the value. This is going to be visible on the UI on the browser. And this is the tab title. Tab title will be used to update the title with this particular key. This is the text for the about, and this is the tab title for the about route. This is the profile text. This is going to be shown up at the center of the page, which I showed you at the in the demo of the video at the start. And this is the actually these are the simple titles on the navbar. Okay, and these are the different titles, title for the about profile page, which are going to be visible on the body or the center of the page. Okay, so for this particular thing, for the fr, since the values are going to be different but the keys should be same, because we cannot actually change the keys depending upon which language we have. So keys needs to be same but the values can be different. I've already translated it using Google Translator. So this is the same key value pairs, only the values are different. You can see the value is different. This is all the values are in the French language. So we need to have the key value pairs similar in both files, but the values needs to be different. All right. So let's close these couple of files and make sure the folder name which you have added over here, it is matching with the spelling of this folder, messages. Okay. So now, since I have already configured 90% of stuff in my project, now I need to open up this app. So first of all, if you want to change the background color, you can update that, but I won't be doing that. I'm going to move both of these particular files inside another folder, because this is the home route page.tsx file, and home route needs to work on localhost colon 3000/en. Okay, en will be stored in a dynamic route. Okay, if I don't put that within a dynamic folder like locale, then it will be working without that en or fr in the URL. I want all the routes to work starting off with en or fr. So this is the reason I need to move these two files inside the locale. So let's move in. So let's click on yes, and there might be few issues. So let's say this is the global. So I think I will have to go outside one step and to find the global.css file, and here I don't need these things. Metadata, I will be having a separate metadata for every route within page.tsx file. So I'm going to remove all of these things, and I'm going to remove the classes from the body, and also I'm going to remove these two lines. Okay, so now I'm going to import few stuff. So import next-intl client provider from next-intl. Okay, and now I will also be importing get messages from intl server. Along with that, I will be creating a navbar to be shown on the UI, but for now let's leave it like this. And we have this children, and along with the children, since this layout file is within this locale, it means that this is a dynamic folder which is going to pass me the params and this param is going to be within the keyword locale. So params colon locale. Okay, and also I need to define params locale string over here. So now along with language English, I'm going to update that with locale over here. All right, and let's wrap this children within a div. So I'm going to cut it and paste it over here, and around this particular div I'm going to write next-intl provider messages and get messages. But first of all, let me create a variable for the messages equals to await get messages, and I don't need to write locale inside it. Since I have written await, I need to write async over here. Okay, and now I can write messages, and then the messages I don't need to write locale over here. I've already added locale in the lang prop of HTML. And let's close it with next-intl provider over here. Okay, and to move everything at the center of the page, let's give it some classes. So class name mx auto, max width 4xl, height screen. Okay, so this has been added. Now before this children, I'll come back to this and I will be adding a navbar, but let's go ahead and run the project if there are any errors or if it is working pretty much fine after adding all of these configurations. So let's refresh the page. Okay, now you can see that I refreshed the page and this home URL is automatically navigated to /en because of the middleware file over here, and we have added navigated to the /locale. Locale is going to receive the en or fr because this is what we have added over here in these configurations. All right, so now we have configured that. And first of all, let's open up this page.tsx file, and I'm going to show you how to show the data at the center. Currently, it is going to get empty. So let's say home. And now you will see that it is simply showing home over here. So let's give some classes to it quickly. So flex, width full, items center, justify center. Okay, and inside it I'm going to add another div, and this is going to contain home, and this div is also going to take some classes. Let's say text 3xl, font bold, margin top 20. Okay, now how can I fetch the text of it from my en.json file? So the text which I want to show is this one, homepage /title, and this text needs to be shown. And whenever language is going to get changed, this title is going to receive this value if it is French, and if it is English, this is going to receive this value. Okay, so now here I'm going to, since this is a server component, all the text within the body, within the center, is going to be rendered from the server component, and all the text on the navbar will be rendered from the client side. So inside this component, what I can write is const t equals to the use translations homepage. Okay, this one, yeah, this is going to be homepage. Remove this use and image. And now we can use t variable. You can use any other, but this is some recommended variable name provided by the next-intl if you go through the documentation, but you can add the meaningful name over here. Okay, if you can have multiple use translation in one particular component, then you can have a meaningful multiple variables. And now within the curly braces, I need to write t, and then I can write title. Now let's save it. Now you can see that it has fetched the value from that en.json file. Now if I manually go to the URL and change it to fr, hit enter. Now you can see that the title value have been changed according to the language which I have selected in the URL. And how cool is that? I'll come back to this once I need to update the this particular tab text, the title, which is not being updated yet because I have removed it from the layout file. That's why it is showing simple URL. Okay, so let's quickly create a components folder, and inside it I'm going to create a navbar. So components, and inside it I'm going to create a navbar. So this is going to take navbar.tsx. Okay, and this is going to be the use client because user needs to have some interaction with this particular component, rfce navbar, and this is going to be visible over here like it. And let's go to our layout file, and before this I'm simply going to add a navbar, and I'm going to pass this locale value to the navbar as well because uh, uh, I want to pass these locale to the navbar to update the text. So locale equals to locale. Currently navbar is not receiving it, so I need to receive it in the navbar. So here I can actually write locale string, and this is how it is going to be received in the navbar. Now if I go over here, you will see that this is how it is looking like, which I need to style it a bit yet. So for this particular div I'm simply going to add some classes. So let's give some classes to it. Now you can see that it is showing simple navbar text which is coming from here and simple border. Okay, so let's now build the navbar, add some click events, and create a drop down. Rather than manually changing the URL, drop down needs to be changing the text on every page which we are on currently. Okay, so let's come over here inside this navbar. First of all, I need to create a div. Okay, so inside this div I need to create multiple links. Okay, so before that let's create flex gap 4 item center and text large, and inside this div I'm going to create a link from next link, and this is going to take href. This is going to take us to the home route, but we will not be navigating to the home route directly. Instead, we need to combine it or concatenate it with the locale value which is being passed from the URL. Okay, so for this I'm simply going to update this href like it. Okay, so starting off with the locale value and then slash. Okay, and after that I need to import this use translation inside this navbar. This is the client side component, and we can use translation over here as well. So rather than entering this home page, what I need to write is I need to write navbar links, and this is the key that I've added in en.json. All right, so let's add the T and then the home. Okay, and similar to this I will be creating multiple routes slash about and then slash about slash profile, and we have home about profile, and I'm using a super maven extension of VS Code which is suggesting me these things, and it is an awesome copilot toolkit which you can install, and it is going to refer you and suggest you the code which you can write. Okay, most of the time it gives you the correct code. So I'm going to hit tab to select all of these things. So currently it has about profile. Let's see, we have home, we have about, we have profile, which is fine. And then I'll be creating the about route, and then I'll be creating another nested route within the about route. All right, so let's save it and let's see what we have here. All right, we have these links visible, and because of fr it is showing in the French, and if I change it to en it is showing it in the English. How cool is that? All right, now I need to add a drop down below this particular div. So I need to start off with select, and inside this select I need to create an option like en and then the fr. Okay, so let's write en only and the fr only. Okay, so this is going to be shown over here. I need to update its styles. So for the styles, I can write the class name to it. All right, so this has been added. Now I can have a default value which is going to be coming from URL. Okay, which we have already received. So locale is going to be the default selected value from the URL. And then what I can have is I can have on change. This is going to have handle language change, which I yet need to create. So let's come over here and create this. So const handle language change. I'm going to remove everything inside it because I don't need it as of now. And this is going to take change event like it. Okay, and change event can be imported. Let's click on that from React. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, the UI is looking pretty good. And currently, if I change the language, it will not update the URL because this is what I need to write inside this particular function. First of all, I can get the current selected value, which is coming from here, en or fr. So I can write const new locale e.target.value as a string, and then since our URL can have any number of params, like a nested URL can have a dynamic URL slash about slash product slash settings or slash 123. So we can split the first two values with the forward slash, like the path const path equals to the path name. First of all, we can use the Next.js provided path name over here. So I can write path name from use path name, which is coming from next navigation. Okay, so let's write the path name dot split it with the forward slash, and then I'm going to slice it with 2 and then join it back with the forward slash. Okay, you can log the path if you want to check what it is going to return, but after that I'm simply going to update the URL by router dot push, or you can use the router dot replace as well. So I can write the router dot push new locale and then the path. Okay, new locale is going to be the en, and then this is going to path is going to be whatever after that, and localhost colon 3000 will be automatically appended with this. All right, now let's see what we have here. Now if I refresh this, and now this is en, let's click on fr. All right, so everything is changed. We have the text changed over here. We have the text change in the navbar. This is looking great. And now what we have next, we have to update the tabs, and also we need to create these URLs. If I click on that, it will show the 404 because we have not created about. And if we click on the product, this is something which we have not yet created. So first of all, let's create these routes. Okay, so let's close these files, this layout file as well. And inside this locale, I'm going to create about folder. Inside this about, we can create the page.tsx file, and here I can also add the same thing, RAFCE, and inside this particular div return statement, I can simply copy paste few stuff. So this is the same as this one. I've copied it from here, and only the title is going to be different, but it is going to be from the about page. So let's add it over here. About page is the string coming from this about page. All right, so let's quickly update that. We have this translation, and this is, why is it throwing some kind of error? Let's reload the page. Maybe we need to update the name of this component. So about page, yes, so we need to update that. Page does not work. Okay, so about is added. Inside the about, I'm going to add the profile, and the reason I'm creating these different routes nested routes because I want to show you the logic which I have built to update the URL is working fine with all kinds of URL structures. So page.tsx, and this is going to be RAFCE, and this is going to be the profile page. Okay, and inside this profile page I'm again going to add the similar stuff which I have copied. This is going to be from profile page, quick, next-intl. So this has been updated. Now the profile page is working, about page is working, profile, all of these are working. And if I'm on the profile page, click on the en, and all the text is updated according to that. This is amazing. Now one thing we have to do now is to change the URL over here. So in Next.js, if you know, then we have a built-in function to generate metadata that we can use to actually update the title of the page according to the values which is coming from the en and .json files. So let's write export async function generate metadata. Okay, so now inside it I can get the params. This is going to be of type, this is going to give me from the locale, and then I can give the type of it like this, and then I'm simply going to add it like this. Okay, so now I need to fetch all the messages. So messages can be fetched from await, get messages from intl server, and then locale. All right, and this can be of type any. So using these messages, we can actually fetch the title and the description and whatever we have in our en or fr files. So const title equals to messages dot navbar links dot home title. Okay, and after that I can simply return the title or the description or whatever we want. And if I save this particular file, let's refresh this, let's go to the home page, and now you can see that the home page is showing the home page, and this home page is coming from here, the home page title messages.navbar links.homepage title, and this is the text it is showing. And when I'm going to change the language, this text should be visible. So let's change the language, and now you can see that the tab text have been updated. And for the SEO purpose, if you want, you can add the description as well if you want. So for this particular file, that's it. So let's copy it and let's open up the about route, and inside it I'm going to paste it. Let's import it from next-intl/server, and this is going to be the about title. Rest of things are going to be same. So let's copy it, let's paste it, and let's import it. And this about title should be profile title. Okay, so let's go over here, let's refresh and let's navigate to that. You can see that the tab text have been updated according to that. If I change it to English, and this is going to get updated about page. If I go to the profile page is showing on the tab. If I change to the language, this has been updated on the tab as well. So in Next.js, we have server components, client components. We have seen how to use these translation things in both of these components. And also we have seen how to generate the metadata for the browser tab text to update the language text according to the current URL we have. Okay, so this process, this configuration can be used for building the large application, and you can keep on creating multiple routes, and you can move on with the same configuration and just fetch the data and keep on adding the new data over here in both of these files. Make sure the keys are same, the name of keys are same, and the values only are required to be different, then you can keep on fetching the data and bind this data in your components or the direct routing page.tsx files. I hope that you have learned something new from this video. If yes, do subscribe my channel and like my video as well. I will be creating more videos in Next.js. Till then, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.